Good morning students. Today we are going to see one more property of fluid. It's a very interesting property that is called as viscosity. Before going into the definition, let's see what is viscosity or what a viscous fluid is that. See, suppose you take two fluids, one is water and honey. You pour the same two fluids at the same time on the same surface. Which flows fastly? Definitely water is going to flow fastly compared to that of the honey. Why? Because honey is going to offer a resistance to flow. That is, it will not easily flows. Okay, such resistance to flow is said to be viscosity. Or we can say in terms that it is such fluid is said to be viscous fluid, or it has high viscosity, or it is highly viscous. Okay, so when compared to water and honey is highly viscous because it offers more resistance to flow compared to that of the water. Now when we go for definition, what is viscosity? It is a property of fluid, as I already said, it is one of the property of a fluid which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluids over the adjacent layer of fluids. I will explain you how this definition comes. See, for example, to take water is flowing upon any surface. Not only water, it may be any fluid. Okay, so here the fluid is flowing. So let the distance or the depth of this will be y. So what happens here is, when this fluid is definitely going to have some viscosity. Okay, when this viscous fluid is flowing with velocity, it happens to create a shear stress over the adjacent layer of the fluid. Say for example, this layer of fluid will create a stress over the adjacent layer of the fluid, while this will create a stress over the top layer as well as the bottom layer. Okay, so this property is said to be viscosity. Now go through the definition once again. It is a property of a fluid which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluid over the adjacent layer of the fluid. Okay, so when you draw the velocity profile between these surfaces, so it is between the velocity of the fluid and the stress, because as I already said, the velocity, when the fluid is moving with a certain viscosity, along with velocity, it's going to create the stress. Okay, so that stress is said to be shear stress. So when you draw a velocity profile between the velocity and the shear stress, your profile looks like this. Okay, consider this any two points in the fluid element. Say this first point is moving with the velocity of u, and here it moves with the velocity of u plus du. Okay, so this distance is said to be dy, while the entire distance is said to be y. Okay, so this is your y, so the y is being reflected here. So what from this, what do you infer? Here we know that tau is directly proportional to du by dy. Okay, what is du? It is the change in the velocity du. So what is the change in the velocity? It is du, and it is with respect to that of your distance dy. So tau is directly proportional to du by dy, where this tau is said to be your shear stress. Normally how do you call it as tau? Okay, shear stress. Instead of proportionality symbol, we are going to give it as mu. That mu is called as constant of proportionality, where this du by dy is change in velocity by change in distance. Am I right? So normally this mu, as I already said, it is called as constant of proportionality, or it is called as dynamic viscosity. So how do you pronounce this? It is said to be mu. You pronounce it as mu. Okay. So on this change in velocity by change in distance, that is du by dy, it is said to be rate of shear strain or rate of change of shear strain, or we can say that it is a rate of shear deformation, or we could say this as velocity gradient. Why I am giving you all these terms is, whenever you work out the problems, they won't give you directly as du by dy. Sometimes velocity will be given, sometimes distance will be given. In that case, you will be able to find out what is du by dy. But in most of the cases, they will give you these terms. Velocity gradient is this much, or rate of shear deformation is this much, or rate of change of shear strain is this much. So in that case, you should be able to know what is this. Okay, that's why I have given you all these things. So I repeat, tau is proportional to du by dy, where tau is your shear stress, and du, or instead of proportionality we are giving mu. This mu is said to be constant of proportionality or dynamic viscosity, and this du by dy is rate of shear, change of shear strain or rate of shear deformation or velocity gradient. So whenever you say viscosity, normally we call it as dynamic viscosity. That is what we have seen now, that is mu. Am I right? But we have one more viscosity, that is called as kinematic viscosity. Before going to this kinematic viscosity or the next thing, let's see why we have to study this viscosity property. Normally, when you see, normally the civil engineers will be more relevant for the construction of reservoirs or those things. In that case, we have to know what is the time required for the fluid to fill that reservoir and to get settled. Am I right? So for calculating of such things, we should know what is viscosity and what is the viscous property of the particular fluid. If it is water, it's okay. If it is some other fluids where we have to fill it up for the tanks or something, in that case, we have to know everywhere the viscosity of the fluids. Okay. And if there is, with viscosity, if you are giving different velocities or different force, what happens is, this will be moving with different speeds. Okay, so such liquids will be able to move with different speeds. That's what we have seen one example. Suppose if it is honey, it moves with less speed, but it is high viscous. While water moves with high speed, but it is less viscous compared to that of the honey. So for determining such things, how long or how much time take to fill up a reservoir and to get settled down, all those things will be going for studying viscosity. And apart from that, suppose if you want to pump some fluids, so what is the energy required to pump the fluids? So that also once again it depends upon the viscosity, because this is a property where it will offer, the fluid will offer resistance to flow. So unless we know this, we don't know at what rate the fluid can be pumped, at what speed it can be pumped, then what time it can be done. All those things we cannot find it out. Okay, so for finding out such things, we have to know what is viscosity. Okay, so before going to this kinematic viscosity, we will derive what is the unit for this mu. That is your dynamic viscosity. Why? Because this dynamic viscosity unit is very, very important, and you should be able to know to derive it, so that when problem comes, you should not be able to how to utilize it. So as I already said, tau is directly proportional to du by dy. Am I right? So now let's rub up this. So what is tau? I am not giving by t, it is tau. Okay, it is a shear stress. So tau is, once again, we are removing the constant of proportionality, it is mu into du by dy. Am I right? So what is mu? Because we are going to derive it from mu. Once again, bring it to this side. Mu is equal to tau divided by du by dy. So as I already said, tau is your shear stress. Any stress definition, it is force by area. So shear stress is also same thing, but it's with shear force. We are not worrying about that. We have to see how the unit derives. So it's force by area. So I am writing here, it is force divided by area. And what is du? It is change in velocity. Am I right? So what is change in velocity? Or what is velocity? Its unit is meter per second. Am I right? That is change of distance by time taken. So this will be meter per second. And what is this 1 by dy? Dy is change in distance. Am I right? So distance unit is always expressed in meters. So here I am giving this in meters. But this is 1 by dy. So it is 1 by m. Am I right? So we will remove this. And this is in division. Division by division, so it has to go up. So force into time, that is second is your time. So I can give it as second or time, whatever may be, by area. So force I am giving at Newton. This is your time is second, by area is meter square. So what is the unit for proportionality, or how do you say what is the unit for dynamic viscosity? It is Newton second per meter square. So this is said in terms of SI units. Normally we have three different system of units. One is MKS unit, other one is CGS unit, and other one is SI unit. So what is MKS unit? M for meter, K for kilogram, and S for seconds. So if we express this in terms of meter, kilogram, seconds, and it is said to be the MKA system, and this kilogram is here kgf. Okay, and here CGS is centimeter, gram, second. Okay, so that is your CGS system. SI is system international system. This is commonly we use it. But what happens in certain problems, they will be giving you the unit in CGS also. No need to find out the derivation, but you have to remember how to convert this. So what is the CGS? How it is being given as dynamic second per centimeter square. So what is that we have given here? Newton second per meter square. But in CGS it is given as dynamic second per centimeter square. Okay. So this dynamic is once again, it is, you can say it is gram centimeter, gram second per centimeter square. Okay, so need not worry about this. So when if it is given in CGS, or we can say that it will be given in poise. So these are the two units. So you can say dynamic second per centimeter square or poise. So in this case, what is 1 poise? How will you convert from CGS units to SI units? So 1 poise is 1 by 10 of Newton second per meter square. Need not worry about all these things. Remember this. Why? Because in problem they will give you the values in poise, or they will ask you the value in poise, the answer in poise. So you should know the conversion. If you are getting the answer in Newton second per meter square, you can convert it by using this relation. 1 poise is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. Suppose if it is centipoise, centi is still 100 na? So 1 centipoise is equal to 1 by 100th of poise. Okay, so remember this units conversion, so that whenever you do the problem, you will be able to do it. And whenever, even if I ask you in sleep also, you should be able to say what is mu, what's the unit for mu, that's your dynamic viscosity. It is Newton second per meter square. Okay, so this is what said to be your dynamic viscosity. Now we will go for the next definition, that is called as kinematic viscosity. So kinematic viscosity is given by the relation. It is the ratio of dynamic viscosity by density of the fluid. So in the previous lecture we have seen what is density. Density or mass density is the ratio of mass by volume of the fluid. Okay. So this kinematic viscosity is given by the symbol called as mu. How do you pronounce this dynamic viscosity? This mu, and this is given by the symbol called nu. Okay. So nu is equal to mu by rho. That is dynamic viscosity by density of the fluid. So here, this is the relation. Suppose if you know dynamic viscosity, you will be able to find out the kinematic viscosity. Or if the kinematic viscosity is given, you will be able to find out what is the dynamic viscosity. So now let's go to find out what is the unit for this. As we have already derived for dynamic viscosity, the unit is Newton second per meter square. Let's see what is the unit for this. For nu, that is your kinematic viscosity. So dynamic viscosity already we have given it as force into second by area, or we can say Newton second per meter square. I am not giving like that. I am giving us force only. Force into, instead of second I am giving us time by area. It is let it be in meter square since we follow the SI systems. Okay. So and what is density? As I already said, density is equal to mass by volume. So I am giving here once again mass. Volume is, what is volume? It is length cube. Am I right? So length into breadth into depth now. So we convert it into length cube. So it is meter cube. Now once again, instead of force, instead of directly as taking as force, I am taking this relation force is equal to ma. You might have studied in your early classes what is force is equal to ma. That is it is a mass into acceleration. Am I right? So what is that? Force is equal to mass into acceleration, where acceleration is, as you know, it is meter per second square. So it is meter per second square into time is second divided by meter square into mass by meter cube. Cancel this, mass will get cancelled. Okay, this is meter cube. So here this will get cancelled and you will get only meter. Okay, and here also you will get this second cancel. So when this is in division by division, so this will be coming as a numerator. So meter will come as numerator. Already 1 meter we have here. So meter into meter is meter square. And second, only 1 second we have cancelled. One more second in the division is there. So it is meter square per second. So what is the unit for nu is, what is the unit for your kinematic viscosity? It is meter square per second. So I repeat, the unit for dynamic viscosity is Newton second per meter square, while that of kinematic viscosity is meter square per second. Similarly, in CGS system, how we have given dynamic viscosity in terms of poise. Similarly, here also in case of kinematic viscosity, in case of CGS system, this nu is expressed as stroke. So what is 1 stroke? It is centimeter square per second. Okay. So how will you convert this stroke into SI units? As you know, centimeter into meter is 100. Okay, that is 10 power minus 2. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So what is 1 centimeter? 10 power minus 2 meter. If it is 1 centimeter square, it is 10 power minus 4 meter square. So here it is centimeter square. So it will be 10 power minus 4 meter square per second. Okay, so how do you say this? What is the relation? 1 stroke is equal to 10 power minus 4 meter square per second. So what is 1 centistroke? The same way. 1 centistroke is equal to 1 by 100th of stroke. Okay, so here also in problem, either in question or answer, you have to convert the unit into that of the stroke. Okay, so you have to remember all these things. One is what is the unit for mu? It is Newton second per meter square. And unit for nu, that is your kinematic viscosity, is meter square per second. And the unit for your poise, what is that? 1 poise is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. Okay, and 1 centipoise is equal to 1 by 100 poise. Similarly for stroke, 1 stroke is equal to 10 power minus 4 meter square per second, while 1 centistroke is equal to 1 by 100th of stroke. Okay, so you have to remember all these things to carry out the problems. And this viscosity is once again an important concept, and this derivations, not derivations, the units are very, very important. So remember this. Now, we will see whether this viscosity varies with temperature or not. So that is your variation of viscosity with temperature. Normally when you see this variation of viscosity with temperature. Normally we have, as I said, we have two types of fluids. One is liquids, another one is gas. So what happens is this viscosity depends based upon two important parameters. One is cohesive force and other one is molecular momentum transfer. So in case of liquids, what happens is the cohesive force now it will be higher and molecular momentum transfer will be less. So what happens here in case of liquid, since the cohesive force is higher, so with the increase in temperature, so when increase in temperature what happens, this cohesive forces, it will become less cohesive and therefore the viscosity will also decrease. Okay, and here already this cohesive forces predominate compared to that of the molecular momentum transfer in case of your liquids. Suppose if it is in case of gas, this is reverse. That is, molecular momentum transfer will predominate compared to that of the cohesive forces. Okay, so when molecular momentum transfer is predominates, with the increase in temperature, there is no change in the cohesiveness. Okay, so it's keep on same, only the molecular momentum transfer will be increased. Okay, so what happens here? The viscosity is also increases. So we can say that for case of liquids, viscosity decreases with increase in temperature, while in case of gas, the viscosity increases with increase in temperature. So this can be given by a relation, that is, for liquids, I'll write a bit of this. So in case of liquids, this is given by an expression, that is viscosity is your mu, as you already know. Mu is equal to mu naught into 1 by 1 plus alpha t plus beta t square. Okay, where mu is the viscosity and mu naught is the viscosity at T naught temperature. Okay, and alpha and beta are the constants. Okay, and T is your temperature. So here what is that is, mu naught value is, it's a standard value 1.79 into 10 to the power minus 3 parts. As I already said, see here, the unit is given in terms of parts. And what is the value of alpha is 0.3368 and the value for beta is 0.00031. Okay, so this, 0.0021. So this is your value for your liquids in case of viscosity in association with it of the temperature. So we could see this viscosity will be inversely proportional, or how we can say that it is when the temperature is increases, this viscosity will be decreases. Okay, so what is the equation for gas then? For gas the equation is mu is equal to mu naught plus alpha t minus beta t square. So this is the expression for case of liquids and this is the expression for the case of gas. So what is this? Does this value remains the same for constant for both liquids and gas? No. So this mu naught alpha and beta value is different for gas. So we can say in terms of gas, what is mu naught? Mu naught is equal to 0.0017. Okay. Now what is alpha? So alpha value is 0.000056. So say check it out, how many zeros are there? It has to come 7 zeros. Okay, 7 zeros 5 6. And what is the value of beta here? So it is 0.1189 into the 10 to the power of minus 9. Is it clear? So we could see from this expression itself, when there is increase in temperature, the viscosity gets decreases. Okay, and in this case for gas, when the increase in temperature, the viscosity also increases. Okay, so remember these two expressions for variation of viscosity with that of your temperature for both liquids as well as for gas. Okay, now let's go for a problem. See, in fluid mechanics, mostly you will be concerned with that of the problems. So you should be always, that's why we have to be very clear with the units and we have to be always thorough with the units. If not, at least we should be able to know how to derive the units. Okay, so now we will go with the problem. So what is that problem question is? If the velocity distribution, so this is the problem. If the velocity distribution over a plate is given by this equation, u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square. Okay, in which u is the velocity, you know, in which u is the velocity in meter per second. At a distance of y meter, at a distance y meter above the plate, determine the, what is the question that is asked in this problem is, determine the shear stress is your tau, am I right? So determine the shear stress at two different distances. One is y is equal to 0 and other one is y is equal to 1.5 meter. Take dynamic viscosity of fluid as 8.63 points. So this is the problem that we are taken today. So what is that? They have given the velocity distribution of a fluid over a plate by an expression that is u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square. Okay, where u is the velocity in meter per second and y is the distance. Okay, they ask you to find out the shear stress at two different places. One is shear stress at a distance of 0 meters and shear stress at the distance of 1.5 meter. And they have given the dynamic viscosity. Dynamic viscosity is, what is it? Mu. Mu is 8.63 points. So don't confuse with this. This is our ordinary u, that is your velocity, and this is your mu, that is your dynamic viscosity. Okay. So what is asked? They ask you to find out the shear stress. What is the expression to find out the shear stress? You know very well, tau is equal to mu into du by dy. You can have a, what is it, difference, what is it? Here it is given u and here it is given du. So what is that is, u is only velocity, du is change in velocity with respect to that of the distance. Okay. So here I am going to differentiate this expression, that is with respect to distance. Du, I am going to, when you differentiate u with respect to distance, it is du by dy. Am I right? So here what happens, I am going to differentiate with respect to distance. So here distance is y. So when you differentiate this, it is 2 by 3 minus 2y. How come it's, you just remember this, whenever you differentiate any variable with respect to that of the variable, so y power 1 means differentiation will be 1y power 0. Suppose if it is y square, when you differentiate it, it has to come 2y, 2 minus 1, that is 1. Okay, that is 2y. The same way how done here. For y, we have differentiated this. It's 1, y power 0. Y power 0 is once again 1. So we have given only 2 by 3. In case of y square, when you differentiate this, bring this power to the front, that is 2, and reduce the power by 1. So this is your value of 2y power 1. 2y power 1 is y. So it is y. So 2 by 3 minus 2y. So now you got the variable du by dy. Okay, so what you have to find out? Du by dy is known. You know what is the value of mu. You have to find out tau. So once again where the problem comes is this 8.63 points. So this 8.63 points you have to make it in terms of Newton second per meter square. You know this, just now we have seen 1 point is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. So what is 8.63 points? It is 8.63 divided by 10. So it is 0. How much? 863 points. Am I right? So 863 Newton second per meter square. We are converting this points in terms of Newton second per meter square. It is 0.863 Newton second per meter square. So now you will be able to get the answer. So just substitute here tau in terms of y is equal to 0. So put this expression y is equal to 0. What happens here? This will become 0. So you will be getting only 2 by 3. Am I right? So here it is mu is 0.863 and du by dy with respect to this y equal to 0. Okay. So just I am rubbing off writing here. Du by dy with respect to y is equal to 0 is put here. Substitute y, that's all. So there is no y here. So it is 2 by 3. If you put here 0, so it's automatically this expression is cancelled. So it is only we are getting 2 by 3. So here it is 2 by 3. Okay, so what is the answer now here? It is 0.5756 and what is the unit for shear stress? Its unit is Newton per meter square, that is force by area. So you will be able to know what is the value. Okay, so this is the first case. So when you come for the second case, that is tau in terms of y is 51.5. So here we what is our case? Put y is equal to 1.5 in the above expression. So du by dy is equal to 2 by 3 minus 2 by 9. So it is 2 by 3 minus 2 into 1.5. Okay, so here this expression is once again mu is mu into du by dy. So this du by dy with respect to 1.5, we have got these values. So mu already we have converted in terms of Newton second per meter square, it is 0.863 and du by dy is 2 by 3rd of minus 2 into 1.5. Right. So what is the answer here when you derive these equations? It is 0.3167 Newton per meter square. So this is the value of shear stress at y is equal to 1.5. And this is the value of shear stress at y is equal to 0.5756 Newton per meter square. So is it clear, students? So here in this problem, instead of giving you directly the rate of change of shear strain or velocity gradient, they have given you velocity equation. You have to derive this velocity gradient, okay, du by dy. Then for this you have to apply the distance values and you have to get the answer for this shear stress. Okay, that's why I said we cannot get directly the question as velocity gradient is this much, mu is this much, find out shear stress. Such direct questions is not possible always. So they will be giving you some indirect question. First you have to understand the question, then you will be able to find out what is required. Okay. So far in this class we have seen what is viscosity, what is dynamic viscosity, what is kinematic viscosity and how to derive the expression for all these things, and finally we have worked out a problem. Okay students, we will meet in the next